here is another one of my custom figure short pieces. Will admit, never been a huge Superman comic book fan, unlike I am with, say, Batman and Spider-Man. The films and the TV shows are an add-on for me, if you like, to my interest in the comic book characters. But Superman was never really a huge favourite of mine in the comics, but I completely fell in love with the Christopher Reeve feature film, and later, as opposed to the other way around with many people, became a big fan of the George Reeves TV show. Of course, in England we had the series in the 50s and probably early 60s before I was born, but then we didn't get repeats until many years later. So my first kind of live action introduction to the character was this guy, Christopher Reeve's version. That was quite good timing, for once, for me. Anyway, here are some action figures, custom style, based on live action movie and television versions of Superman. I'll start in the middle with the biggest of the group. This is a Wes McHugh George Reeves head that I painted. Costume made for me, the blue jumpsuit anyway, made for me by my pal David, the guy that works in films. I wanted this one to look kind of like a toy from the 50s or early 60s, a bit kind of goofy, as they say. The head's a little bit too large for the body. It's the large style Mego body, but I think overall it works. They're Wes McHugh boots, which are fantastic, just spot on for a 12-inch Superman type George Reeves doll. I did the trunks. I also did the cape. The emblem is stitched and embroidered. A guy was selling those on eBay a couple of years back, so I thought I'll nab a few of those. They look nice. The blue is perhaps a little bit too light, but again it gives the overall impression of the character, but I chose the material, so the decision on that was down to me. That's my mistake, but a very nice job on the suit by David. Really pleased with him. Going down to a smaller scale, George Reeves. Very nice head. Very pleased with this guy. It's actually a Batman jumpsuit that I've adapted the neck a little bit on and dyed blue, the material, to look close to the George Reeves suit. Again, there's lots of arguments as to what his colour was, and the photographs now are, there's very few colour photos. The original suits could have faded, but overall, as long as I got the general impression, I was happy. I again did the boots, the classic Mego boots, just cut down and trimmed with a little nick in the top. I did the trunks at the belt loops, everything else. That's a scan of an actual George Reeves S that my pal, I like to think of him as a pal now, Mike Rogers, did for me. I did the cape. He also sent me a set of stickers for there. That's George Reeves, and of course, as always with Mike, a very, very nice box. Done again as if it was an ongoing world's greatest TV superhero line, but with nods towards the proper Mego. I wanted to use the yellow. Again, nice imagery down the side. I've only got to do Tarzan and Queso now. If somebody's out there does a sculpting, they want to do a Ron Ely head, I'll be in line for it. And that's the image on the reverse of the box on this guy. Just a really, really great piece of work from Mike on that one. So thanks, Mike. Moving on again, or moving on finally, if you like, to my 8-inch Christopher Reeve Superman figure. Again, classic Mego jumpsuit. I did the trunks, the belt, the boots are classic Mego but trimmed down. The head was a custom head, I believe, possibly a shrink down of a slightly larger head. Decent enough lightness. I've seen some ones out there that are way off. I've seen some others that are perhaps better, but Mego were often never 100% on the nose, but they captured an essence of a character, and I think that's what this head does. Never a huge fan of the large Mego Superman figures. They kind of didn't really know where they were going. Were they movie related or were they comic book? But it's just another little addition to the collection. And as always, with these guys, a box from Mike Rogers. I know he's a big Superman fan himself, so he wanted to use a few ideas of his own. But it's nice as you get the box out, as you get the figure out of the box, it reveals Jor-El's head, Marlon Brando there at the back, as if projected into the Fortress of Solitude. It's a kind of a Fortress of Solitude motif here. The box is larger to accommodate that, and again he did strip down the size as if they were doing other figures potentially in the series, which I would gladly take a shot at if I could find some heads out there that would work. There you go, and here's a look at the back of the box. A very, very nice job again from Mike, but again in keeping with the kind of thing that what would Mego have done if they had done something like this. So there you go. So a final look there at my Mego style Superman figures from the TV show and the classic Christopher Reeve movies, particularly on this occasion the first one. So again, thanks very, very much for watching, everybody. Apologies as always for my camera work, my commentary, and I guess as well sometimes apologies for the work that I do on these customs. There's some people out there that do some incredible work. I'm not even in the same league as some of those, and in many instances all I do is paint a head and pop it on a body. So I can't take credit, and I won't take credit where it's not due. So as I say, the two little guys, original Mego jumpsuits with cape, trunks, etc. by me, and on the big fella in the middle, the jumpsuit made by a pal of mine. But again, I did the trunks, the boots, etc. Belt rather, boots from Wes McHugh, classic plastic. So thanks again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it. So maybe keep an eye out for a couple of other custom films on YouTube soon. Thanks again, people. Bye.